that. And that's why while Khalifa, nobody loved and respected Ali ibn Abi Talib like non-Muslims. His Muslims were killing him, were fighting him. Ali ibn Abi Talib, the Christians and the Jews loved him and mourned him. Imagine that when Ali has a famous line in his letter to Malik al-Ashtar, which Kofi Annan in the United Nations said is the greatest letter of government ever written by a human being. Imam Ali's letter to Malik al-Ashtar in Nahj al-Balagha. Imam Ali tells Malik, know that people are of two types. They are either your brothers in faith or your equals in humanity. And in another line he says, and this line should be cemented on the walls of our mosques, know, O Muslims, our enemy is not the Christians or the Jews. Our enemy is our own ignorance. When he walks past the church, his companion says to him, I wonder how much polytheism is being done by the people of the church. Imam says, I wonder how much monotheism is being worshipped. One looked at the cup half empty. Ali would look at the cup half full. When he'd walk in the street, if there was a Christian begging, Ali would say, why is this man begging? When he was young, we'd look after him because he was working for us. Now he's old, no one looks after him. I will not move from my position until one of you promises to sponsor this Christian. And that Jewish man who cried for Ali when he heard he died, they asked him why. He said, I was walking towards Kufa with a stranger. And I was walking towards my home with this man going towards Kufa. This man was a stranger. We started talking. I told him I'm Jewish. He said he is Muslim. We kept on talking and talking. Today Muslims, as soon as they see someone Jewish, they generalize that all the Jewish people are wrong. All the Jewish people are bad. Whereas I tell you, sometimes you may find a Jewish person that's got more humility than some of our own people. He says, I was talking with him. I said, I'm Jewish, he's Muslim. We're talking and talking and talking, and I remembered in the beginning of the conversation, he said, I'm going to Kufa. But now we had gone past Kufa, going towards my house. So I turned around to him, I said, oh man, you said you're going to Kufa. Why are you still walking with me? He said, because in Islam we have been taught that the right of the person who travels with us is that we do not leave them until they give us permission. You never gave me permission. So I kept on walking to your house. He said, go ahead, I give you permission. Today I have learnt about your religion through your morals. The narration states that Jewish man, as Ali left, his Jewish friend came up to him. He said, how did you form a relationship with him? He said, what do you mean? He said, do you know who that was? He said, no, just one of the Muslims who lives as part of the empire. He said, that's the head of the empire. He said, Ali ibn Abi Talib? He said, yes. He said, the caliph of the whole Islamic state? He said, yes. He said, why did he come near the Jewish areas? He said, would you believe, he said to me, the rights in Islam of a traveler is that you have to wait for their permission before they let you go. That morals of Ali ibn Abi Talib would continue until the day he died. And that's why after Ibn Muljam struck him, tell me which human being says, give water to my killer, he is thirsty? Which human says, feed my killer what you're gonna feed me? Which human says, give shelter to my killer in the way you've given shelter to me? Ali ibn Abi Talib, the human being, is an example for each and every one of us in our life. And that's why his legacy can be seen where? Malik died for Ali. Hujr bin Adi died for Ali. Muhammad bin Abi Bakr died for Ali. Qambar died for Ali. Kumail died for Ali. Maytham al-Tammar died for Ali. Ammar bin Hamaq al-Khuzai died for Ali. There's not a single human except Rasulullah who so many humans have given their lives because of the human being that he was. Rajiv Gandhi would say, I would never enter a cabinet meeting in my government without a new minister being given Ali's letter to Malik al-Ashtar. Rajiv Gandhi. Kofi Annan would say, that letter to Malik al-Ashtar is the greatest letter anyone has ever written. Ralph Emerson, the famous American philosopher, would say, no human can understand the essence of humanity like Ali ibn Abi Talib. How? He says, look at the mixture on one human being. In 1 minute he's a warrior, the next minute he's a leader, the next minute he's a man of knowledge, the next minute he's a man of philosophy. Have you seen a human being is rounded? He says, look at his words. Which human says, oh mankind, you came from a drop of semen and you leave as a piece of dust. You don't know when you came and you don't know when you're going. So why do you walk around like you know everything? He says, which human would say, mankind, know yourself, then you'll know your Lord? He says, which human would look at the peacock and say, the peacock is the clearest sign of an arrogant creation which is insecure? Because a peacock makes you look at its feathers because it's insecure about its skinny legs. Which human being has understood the essence of worship that he says, God, I do not worship you because of my fear of hell, because that's the worship of a slave. And I don't worship you because of my love of heaven, because that's the worship of a businessman. I worship you because you are worthy of worship. That's the worship of a free man. Look at du'as like Kumayl, like Mashlul, from the tongue of Ali ibn Abi Talib. And that's why a fitting line is the line of the Sikh poet, Kinnaur Singh, who says, oh Ali, you belong to every faith, every age and all people. We'll never let anyone take your honor, and we'll never let anyone claim you as your own, because Ali ibn Abi Talib belongs to every human.